Westmount Secondary School could become the 9th Hamilton public school to tap the power of the sun, thanks to 2 students, members of the Eco Ninja Environmental Club. Cassie Chamberlain, Emma Frketich.
Yeah.
Did I get it right? I hope. Close. You won't be embarrassed by my pronunciation. You guys convinced trustees to ask staff to investigate and report on the feasibility of installing solar panels on the school's roof. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming on City Matters. And living just around the corner from Westmount and having attended Westmount, don't ask when, okay? It's like a long time ago. That's a big school. That's a big project. Could be a costly project, but we'll get to that in a couple of minutes. Why did the Eco Ninjas decide and then go and persuade trustees?
Well, the project...
But where's the beginning of, where's that little light bulb that goes off in somebody's head and says, this is a good idea, let's go get it done?
Well, the project actually began when we were in grade 9, so last year. And I got to my first Eco Ninjas meeting, and one of the teachers had said that there was a group of students interested in looking at renewable energy. And from there, we kind of brainstormed what our different options were and how that could apply to Westmount. And solar was one that consistently kept coming up, so we decided to explore that a little bit further. Additionally, our school runs on natural gas.
Yeah, a lot of areas within Hamilton use natural gas, and we were doing a little bit of investigating about natural gas, and we found that there were many major natural gas leaks within the area, and as you know, like natural gas, if it's introduced to a spark, it could explode or ignite,
Yes.
so it's kind of a dangerous power source. As
Don't scare me, I'm running on natural gas.
As like compared to something like solar, so.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons we were starting to push for using solar power, because it's both good for the environment and it's a lot safer.
Yeah, so that's kind of where the project began.
Okay, so that's where it begins, and obviously you convince a teacher, then you convince the school authorities this is a good idea, and they have to basically set you up to go before the trustees to talk about the idea. How many members of the club?
So our full club is about 40 members.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're quite a large club. And then within the solar panel project committee, we have about 10 that work. So from there, we had a little bit more last year, and we've had a few members graduate. And then a few grade 9s come in to help take their place and continue the project. So the first thing we did was kind of talk to those teachers about it and get the idea going from there. And then we actually reached out. There was, one of the first school boards to do this was the Toronto School Board. So we looked at the people that were involved in that, and there was one organization that kept coming up, and it was the Beach Community Energy Co-op. So we got in touch with someone from there, Robert Spencer, and he kind of helped us talk to our school admin about it, and then talk to members of the school board and get that meeting with the Finance and Facilities Committee.
Now, money talks at school boards, money talks, and you would have had to show that there are going to be future savings if we do this. So you had a consultant who said, how much is it going to cost the school board to put solar panels on that roof, but then what are the savings? Yeah,
so the initial investment is quite large. We had the Beach Energy Co-op do a survey for us, and of course it's not a guaranteed price estimate. We need an engineer to be approved to the project for that. But their estimate was about $1.6 million. But then over the years, the school board has multiple ways of funding that. And then the energy that we make off of that pays for the installation of the solar panels. And then after a certain number of years, you're actually making money off of it.
It looks like the upfront savings, if this was to be installed, $65,000 plus $117,000 of power per year would be paying for a Westmount solar panel within 10 years. And what really makes sense for you guys is to pile on, because the school board already recognizes, having done 8 other schools, which then begs the question, why don't they do all the schools?
Well, there was a project that began a number of years ago when they first did those 8 schools. And one thing that they did come into conflict with, that was an issue, with some of the schools, particularly the older ones,
Yes.
don't actually have the roof structure to support solar panels. So that's one of the things that we'd have to look at with Westmount, and why our proposal is to do more research into the project rather than to jump right into solar panels, and actually get an engineer up on our roof to look at that. That was one of the issues that came up. But then again, since then, solar panels have gotten lighter, and there's multiple ways that you can combat that. So theoretically, it could be an option for all schools, but it would be something that we're kind of hoping to start with Westmount and see where we can go from there.
Yeah.
I know there's been a few changes, especially to the front of the building at the main entrance, but that school is, correct me if I'm wrong, a 1960?
1961, yeah.
61 it opened? Okay, and I wasn't going to give this away, but my first class was September of 64. Oh my goodness. So structurally looking at the roof makes a lot of sense because it was built to those standards for certain uses, and of course that's changed, and solar would dramatically change it.
Yes.
So where are you at with the school board?
So we proposed a few weeks ago, Cassie and I went to the school board and did a presentation on that. And then actually today, the motion was presented at the Finance and Facilities, brought the motion to the school board. So we don't know the results on that yet, but the motion that they were voting on was to get an engineer on the project and to further research the possibilities for Westmount, both in how it would logistically work, structural-wise, and how we could fund it. So then that report would then be taken back to the Finance and Facilities Committee, and they would decide whether or not solar panels are a good fit for Westmount.
You get the final 20 seconds.
Oh, hi.
No pressure.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. No, really.
so
No problem. I'll fill the rest of the show, which is now 40 seconds. Both of you, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for
This is a
having
long
us.
tradition of bright young people coming out of Westmount, so keep up the good work.
Thank you.
All right.
thank you.
Cassie Chamberlain, Emma Frketich. On tomorrow's City Matters, we'll be learning more about the Shadoke Creek and whether a proposal to infill some of the valley really matters. And the Knights of Columbus will share some of their work in the community. Don't forget, you can send us feedback on any matters affecting you or our city at any time. Find us on Twitter at City Matters TV. See you tomorrow.